I traced my finger along the leather seat, feeling the supple warmth beneath my palm. The engine hummed with quiet power as Rex shifted into drive, his eyes meeting mine through the rearview mirror. "Ready for this?" he asked, his voice carrying more weight than a simple test drive should. I nodded, my breath already shallow with anticipation I couldn't quite explain. The desert stretched endlessly ahead, and I had the strangest feeling this drive would take me somewhere I'd never been before. Before we dive in, please take a second to hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and I want to hear what you think in the comments. Now, let's get started. Las Vegas heat shimmered off the asphalt as I stepped into the air-conditioned sanctuary of Premier Motors. I wasn't exactly car shopping, more like dreaming with a budget that might actually make those dreams reality. The showroom gleamed with polished chrome and pristine paint jobs, each vehicle positioned like a work of art under carefully angled spotlights. "Looking for something specific?" The voice came from behind me, smooth and confident. I turned to find myself face to face with easily the most attractive car salesman I'd ever encountered. Tall, with dark hair that looked like he'd run his fingers through it moments before, wearing a crisp white shirt that highlighted the bronze of his skin. His name tag read Rex, and his smile suggested he knew exactly the effect he had on people. "Something fast," I replied, surprising myself with the honesty. "Something that makes a statement." "Delilah," I added, extending my hand. His grip was firm, lasting just a beat longer than professional. "Rex, and I think I have exactly what you're looking for." He led me deeper into the showroom, past sedans and SUVs toward a section that made my pulse quicken. Sports cars lined the wall like sleeping predators, each one promising speed and freedom. But it was the midnight blue convertible in the center that made me stop breathing. 2023 Mustang GT, Rex said, his voice dropping lower as he approached the car. 5-liter V8, 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. She's got power and elegance. He ran his hand along the hood with obvious appreciation, and I found myself watching his fingers more than the car. There was something hypnotic about the way he touched the metal, reverent but confident. "Want to feel what she can do?" he asked, dangling the keys. The question hung in the air between us, loaded with possibility. This wasn't just about buying a car anymore, and we both knew it. The engine roared to life with a sound that sent vibrations through the leather seat and straight into my core. Rex slid into the passenger side, his proximity filling the small space with warmth and the faint scent of his cologne, something clean and masculine that made me want to lean closer. "Take it easy at first," he said, his hand briefly covering mine on the gear shift. "Get a feel for her before you really let loose." His choice of words sent heat spreading through me as I navigated out of the lot and onto the main road. The car responded to every touch, powerful and eager, like it was waiting for permission to unleash its full potential. "How does she feel?" Rex asked, his eyes studying my profile. "Incredible," I breathed, meaning more than just the car. We drove through the city streets, the conversation flowing as smoothly as the car handled the curves. Rex wasn't like other salesmen. He asked about my work as a stylist, my dreams of opening my own salon, my reasons for wanting something fast and beautiful, and I found myself opening up in ways I hadn't expected. "There's a road I know," he said as we approached the city limits. "Perfect for really testing what she can do. Private, smooth asphalt, no traffic." He directed me onto a desert highway that stretched toward distant mountains. The city fell away behind us, replaced by endless sky and the kind of silence that made every shared glance feel significant. "Turn here," he said softly, pointing to a narrow road that wound into the hills. The pavement was perfect, carved into the landscape like it was made for moments like this. I pressed the accelerator, feeling the car surge forward with breathtaking power. The speedometer climbed, but it wasn't the numbers that made my heart race. It was the way Rex watched me, the intensity in his dark eyes, the way his hand rested on his thigh just inches from mine. "Pull over," he said suddenly, his voice rough. "What?" I glanced at him, surprised. "Pull over, please." There was something in his tone that made me comply immediately. I guided the car to a small overlook where the road widened, the engine ticking as it cooled in the sudden silence. Below us, the valley spread out like a painting, but I couldn't focus on the view. Not with Rex turning in his seat to face me fully. "Delilah," he said, my name sounding different in his voice. "I have to ask you something." "What? Am I reading this wrong?" His hand moved to cover mine on the steering wheel. "Because every instinct I have is telling me you feel this too." The question hung between us, honest and vulnerable. I could have deflected, could have pretended I didn't know what he meant. Instead, I turned my hand palm up, threading our fingers together. "You're not reading it wrong," I whispered. Rex's thumb traced across my knuckles, such a simple touch that somehow felt intimate beyond measure. The car seemed to shrink around us, creating a world where only we existed. I've been doing this job for 5 years, he said quietly. I've helped hundreds of people find their perfect car. But I've never what? Never wanted to forget about the sale and just focus on the person. His honesty took my breath away. In a city built on pretense and performance, his genuine vulnerability felt precious. What are you suggesting? I asked, though my racing pulse suggested I already knew. I'm suggesting we stop pretending this is just about the car, he said, his free hand reaching up to brush a strand of hair from my face. I'm suggesting we acknowledge that something real is happening here. His fingertips traced the line of my jaw, and I leaned into the touch without thinking. The late afternoon sun slanted through the windows, casting everything in golden light that made the moment feel suspended in time. Rex, I started, but he shook his head. Before you say anything, let me be clear about what I'm offering, he said. I'm not looking for a transaction. I'm not trying to use charm to close a deal. I'm asking if you want to explore whatever this is between us. The sincerity in his voice undid me. When was the last time someone had been so direct about desire, so honest about attraction? Most of the men I'd dated played games, danced around their intentions, left me guessing about their motivations. Yes, I said simply. The words seemed to release something in both of us. Rex's eyes darkened, and he leaned closer, his breath warm against my lips. Are you sure? He whispered. Instead of answering with words, I closed the distance between us, pressing my lips to his in a kiss that tasted like possibility and felt like coming home. He responded immediately, his hand sliding into my hair as he deepened the connection. The kiss was slow and thorough, like he wanted to memorize the feel of my mouth against his. When we finally broke apart, we were both breathing hard. The back seat, he murmured against my ear, sending shivers down my spine. Without breaking eye contact, I reached for the door handle. The transition from front seat to back happened in a blur of movement and shared breathless laughter. The convertible's back seat was more spacious than I'd expected, the leather still warm from the sun. Rex settled beside me, his hands finding my waist as he pulled me closer. Tell me what you want, he said, his voice low and urgent. I want to stop thinking, I replied honestly. I want to just feel. He understood immediately, his lips found the sensitive spot just below my ear, pressing soft kisses that made me arch against him. His hands moved with reverent slowness, tracing the curves of my body through my dress, leaving trails of heat in their wake. You're beautiful, he whispered, the words carrying weight beyond simple flattery. I helped him with the zipper of my sundress, the fabric pooling around my waist as the desert air kissed my exposed skin. Rex's sharp intake of breath made me feel powerful, desired in a way that had nothing to do with performance and everything to do with genuine connection. His mouth traced a path from my collarbone to the curve of my form, each touch deliberate and worshipful. When his attention focused lower, drawing gasps from my lips, I understood why people wrote songs about moments like this. The world outside the car ceased to exist. There was only his touch, his breath, the steady rhythm of shared desire building between us. Rex, I breathed, my fingers tangling in his hair as sensation overwhelmed thought. He responded to every sound I made, every subtle shift of my body, like he was learning a language only we spoke. The intensity built slowly, a crescendo that had me gripping the leather seat, my back arching as warmth spread through every nerve ending. When the peak finally claimed me, it was with a completeness that left me trembling in his arms, my breath coming in soft gasps against his shoulder. Your turn, I whispered, but he shook his head. This was for you, he said, pressing a kiss to my temple. Just for you. We lay tangled together in the back seat as the sun began its descent toward the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. The silence between us wasn't awkward. It was the comfortable quiet of two people who had shared something meaningful. I should probably get you back, Rex said eventually, though his arms remained around me. Probably, I agreed, making no move to leave his embrace. He chuckled, the sound rumbling through his chest where my head rested. Though I have to admit, I'm in no hurry. What happens now? I asked, voicing the question that had been building in my mind. Now? He tilted my chin up so I could see his eyes. Now we see if what happened between us was just about the moment, or if it's something more. The honesty in his voice made my heart skip. This wasn't a line or a game. It was a genuine invitation to explore whatever was growing between us. I'd like to find out, I said. Good, he replied, sealing the agreement with a soft kiss, because I haven't felt anything like this in a very long time. We eventually untangled ourselves and returned to the front seats, though Rex's hand found mine again immediately. The drive back to the dealership passed too quickly, the spell of our desert encounter gradually giving way to the reality of city lights and traffic. The showroom felt different when we walked back inside, like we were seeing it through new eyes. The other salespeople and customers went about their business, unaware that something significant had shifted in the space between Rex and me. "So," he said, leading me back to the midnight blue convertible that had started everything, "what do you think? Does she meet your needs?" The question was professional, but his eyes held a different meaning entirely. "I think she's exactly what I was looking for," I replied, matching his tone while letting my fingers brush against his. "Excellent. Let me get the paperwork started." What followed was the most surreal car buying experience of my life. We went through financing options and warranty details, insurance requirements and delivery schedules, all while sharing secret smiles and brief touches that made my pulse race. The professional competence he displayed only made him more attractive. Here was a man who could separate business from pleasure while making both equally compelling. "Congratulations," he said an hour later, handing me the keys to my new car. "She's all yours." "Thank you," I said, meaning far more than just the successful transaction. He walked me to the car, opening the driver's door with a gallant gesture that made me smile. "Delilah," he said, as I slid behind the wheel. "Yes?" He reached into his shirt pocket and pulled out a business card, but instead of the standard company information, he'd written something on the back. "My personal number," he explained, "in case you have any questions about the car, or anything else." I took the card, our fingers brushing in the exchange. "I might have lots of questions." "I'm hoping you do." That night, I sat in my new car in my driveway, the engine off, but my hand still gripping the steering wheel. The scent of new leather mixed with the lingering memory of Rex's cologne, creating an intoxicating combination that made me relive every moment of our desert encounter. My phone buzzed with a text from my best friend. "How did the car shopping go?" I stared at the message, wondering how to even begin answering. How did I explain that I'd gone looking for transportation and found something that felt like transformation instead? "Got the car," I typed back, "and maybe something else too." 3 dots appeared immediately, followed by, "Spill, everything." I laughed, imagining her reaction to the full story. Some experiences defied easy explanation, existed in the realm of sensation and emotion rather than simple narrative. What Rex and I had shared wasn't just about physical attraction, it was about recognition. The rare moment when two people see each other clearly and decide to be brave together. My phone buzzed again, this time with an unfamiliar number. "Hope, you're enjoying the drive home. Sweet dreams, Delilah." The message made me smile and shiver simultaneously. I traced the letters of his name on the screen, already anticipating tomorrow's possibilities. I waited exactly 24 hours before using his personal number, partly to avoid seeming overeager, and partly because I wanted to savor the anticipation. When I finally dialed, he answered on the second ring. "I was wondering when you'd call," he said, skipping past hello entirely. "Did I wait too long?" I asked, settling into my living room chair with a cup of coffee. "Just long enough to make me think you might have changed your mind." "Not a chance," I said, meaning it completely. "Good, because I have a confession to make." "What kind of confession?" "I've been thinking about you every moment since yesterday. About what happened between us, about what might happen next." His honesty made my breath catch. "And what conclusions have you reached?" "That I want to take you to dinner. Somewhere with tablecloths and candles, where we can talk without the distraction of engines and sales rooms." "Rex Martinez, are you asking me on a proper date?" "I'm asking you to let me court you the way you deserve to be courted," he said. "Yesterday was incredible, but I want more than just incredible moments. I want to know everything about you." The mighty, old-fashioned word court shouldn't have been so appealing. But something about his deliberate approach to building whatever was growing between us made my heart race faster than any sports car ever could. "Pick me up at 7, I said. "And Rex?" "Yes? Bring the convertible. Some drives change your destination entirely. Have you ever taken a risk that completely altered your path? What made you brave enough to say yes when everything logical said no? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one and I want to know your story. Don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe for more tales of unexpected journeys. Turn on notifications so you never miss when passion takes an unexpected turn. Thanks for riding along with me. See you in the next adventure.